Hello everyone, welcome to Rolenel again. I'm Sere Gras, you can call me Sere, and we're here again for a tutorial on Sandbox. You know, it's the tool I've programmed to allow you to play any role-playing game on Foundry VTT. First of all, thanks for your support these past weeks. It's been incredible. This takes me a lot of time, but the way you are supporting me and the way you are helping me by subscribing on my my Twitch channel that is on the comments below. It's making me feel really good, and I'm really happy to be able to help with this. So if you want to keep helping me, please consider subscribing on Twitch, which is free if you are an Amazon Prime user. So thanks a lot, and thanks to all the fantastic Discord community that we've been building up these past weeks. You can find a lot of your queries or questions answered there, and we're a bunch of good people. Okay, so today, final tutorial on basics, on Sandbox basics. Ooh, excited. So we're talking today about role expressions. All right, roles. How to roll in Sandbox. Okay, so there are two ways to create roles on Sandbox. First one, and the easiest one, is by attaching a role to a property. So let's say that we want to have body rollable. So on the property definition, details tab, we only have to mark rollable. Okay, and this menu just appears with a role name, role ID, and role formula. These are the three fields that you need to fill for to create a role in a character sheet. Yeah. Now there's another way to create a role, which is in a C item. So as you remember, in previous tutorials, C items can also have roles. Specifically, healing potion, specifically those C items that are of activation or consumable types. So when you choose consumable, again, a very similar set of options appears with role name again, role ID, and role formula. Okay, I have to change this from role to role formula. Okay, so these are the two options. What's the difference? Well, this one is on a character sheet property. So I'll create now one, and you see. So when I hover over body with my cursor, so it will change. It will become red. Yeah, and the other one, this one, will appear. I'll also create an example. Will appear when activating it. Yeah, so you need the show activation option checked in the table property. Let's start with this one, body. We're going to create a role name. Role name will be displayed on the chat whenever the role is activated. So let's say body role. Yeah. Role ID, what is this? This is one of the most important things for the role. So this basically is something like a key for the role. Yeah, it's an identifier, so it has to follow the same rules than any other key. So only one word, no spaces. That's it. So I can call it body in lower caps. And the formula, let's start with something easy, would be 1d6. 1d6. Let's start with 1d6, okay? As always, we've changed a property. So we need to go to a template and rebuild a sheet. Again, I'm listening to getting many questions about templates, template actors, and the like. So no, you cannot have the template actor display things correctly. So it will never have data correctly displayed like if it was a character sheet. So do not attempt to fill data in the template actor because it's not designed for that. It's only a template, so you can see how the character sheet is going to look, but it's not going to have any of these options. And if you do, probably something's going to break here. Okay, I'll need to include some checks and some checks and some validations to avoid this, but I don't have the time now. Yeah, okay, so now we've rebuilt the sheet, and what happens now if I hover over body? You see it turns red. So what happens if I click on this? Boom, it's compatible with Dice on Ice. So the role template is a little bit peculiar. Yeah, so the first thing we see is body role, which is, let me open the property again so you can see it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here, and that's, yes, okay. Body role, this role name appears here. Okay, so far fantastic. Now we have two things at the bottom of the role template. One, which user rolled, which is very useful, in this case me, the game master, and the other one, detail. If I click on detail, I can see the details of the roll, the formula that we rolled, which is 1d6, the modifier, which is this one here, the modifier that we have up here, and the result on each individual dice that we've rolled. So on a d6 we roll a 3, and that's what we see here. Fantastic, no? So again, if we include a modifier of 2 and we roll again, we get an 8. Why? Because the modifier is 2, we roll the 6 as you saw in the dice. So 6 plus 2 is 8. Why does it get green? Because we rolled the maximum of that specific dice, which is a 6 on a d6. Fantastic, huh? This easy. Now, this is not all. Unfortunately, we have a lot of roll formulas and expressions. Let me talk through those, okay? Some of them are a little confusing, but hey, let's see if someone can come up with a summary or a cheat sheet or something like that for expressions. Yeah, okay. First option that we have in the role expressions is seal. Okay, so what does seal do? And remember, where can I write that down? I'm going to create, just bear with me please. I'm going to create an item. I'm going to call it, oh, what did I do here? I'm going to call it empty, and I'm just going to use it to write here down. Okay, so you're able to see here, I'm going to custom node this way. Yeah, so seal this way, yeah, which is in here. What does it do? So it rounds up a fraction. So if I roll 1d8 divided by 2, it shows 6y. Ah, yes, because I have a modifier. Okay, let me remove the modifier. So, but it's the same, as you can see. So I rolled an 8 divided by 2 is 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, let me roll again, and here is a 3. Okay, let me roll again to, let's see if we can get a 7. Yes, 7. You see, divided by 2 is 3.5, but the seal makes it 4. Now the most the awoken guys or aware guys would have noticed that I haven't rebuilt my character sheet. Like, what kind of sorcery is this? So once you define a rollable property, you do not need to change or to rebuild the sheet every time you change the roll formula. The template just needs to know what property is rollable. Aside from that, you can change this as many times as you want, and it will look at it live. Yeah, so only rebuild if you need to check or uncheck the rollable check button. checklist or checkbox or whatever. Yeah, so this will save us a lot of time. So now the other expression is floor. Let me write it down here and you'll see it better. Floor. Yeah, so this is the same, but it rounds down. So if I roll body, so evidently the result, as you can see here, is 1, because 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, but round down is 1. Okay, all right, now let's go for something more difficult. Now let's imagine that I want to roll a d6 plus the character's body, which is here. What do we do? So to reference a character attribute, you always have to use @ these two keys and the attribute key. Okay, you've seen me doing this before. So I have to do this plus the key of body is body. Yeah, so if you didn't see this, I'm gonna put it in here. If you have a small screen, you can see here what I've done. 1d6 plus body. Yeah, now let me clear the chat and let me roll body. So right now, if I clicked here, I would roll 1d6 plus 12. Let's see, that's 13. Okay, if we click on detail, we see that the formula states 1d6 plus 12, modifier 0 plus, so 1 plus 12, 13. Fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Okay, what else? What other options do we have? Okay, now, my friends, let's do something different for the next option. Let me see if did I prepare this last time? Did I prepare this last time? So if I add a sword, oh no, a sword is not for this. Sorry, that was the English one. Did I prepare something like weapons or something like that? Oh, I didn't. Okay, what groups do I have in the English one? NPC attacks. Okay, all right, so NPC attacks, NPC attack 1. Fantastic. Yeah, last time we prepared a role for the NPC attacks C item. Yeah, and this was in the properties. Let me see if I can remember correctly. This was attack damage roll, I think it was. Yes. Okay, so let me compare it to body. Yeah, that we have here. So, oh, and I closed my empty one. Here it is. So remember, every time let me click on here. Yeah, every time we want to reference a character attribute, we use @. If we want to use to reference, oh no, I want the same. No? Why? Can I? Okay, another head one. That's it. If I want to reference a C item attribute, I want to use hashtag. Hash, okay, with the key. How does this work and why? Now remember, so in this table we are displaying C items of the group NPC attack. NPC attack has the following properties. So the name, type, damage, and a role, which was a label. Okay, so it's here, the role. You can see it. Yeah, it is a label, as you can see, as I said last time, with the click rollable option clicked. And let me remove this. With the damage, we need an ID always, so I didn't include it here. Let's say damage. Okay, the formula is going to be 1d6 plus attack damage. Okay, why attack damage? Attack damage, let me see the group again. should be this field here, attack damage, whose key is attack damage, this one here. Yeah, put it here so you can see it. Yeah, okay, so what is this doing? So the attack damage roll, so this label here that has label format die, rolls 1d6 plus the value of the C items attribute. The C item attribute is this one, attack damage with this key, which is in the C item attribute. So let me open the C item attribute. You can see it. NPC attack 1 is this one here. Yeah. And the attributes are the following: attack damage 1d6, attack name, attack, blah, 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 blah. So whenever you use the hash expression, you are referencing a C item. So this must always be on a C item roll. Yeah, but not always. So at can be a reference to a character attribute, can be anywhere, but this one, the hash, can only be on rolls on a C item. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm referencing here these attributes from the attributes tab inside the C item. Again, inside the C item. I've seen a lot of people confusing at and hash. Yeah. Again, at will look for the attribute of a property inside a character sheet. Hash only inside the C item that is calling this role. So this C item, NPC attack 1, this one, okay, is calling this role. So hash will look for this attribute, this property inside this. So it will return this 1d6. Yes. Now, important, you cannot reference C items, no, properties this way from a different C item. Yeah. So we look for the property inside the C item. Let's roll the example so you can see it. Let me change attack damage to 1d8 so they're different. Yeah. So I click on roll and it rolled 1d8 for the attack damage and 1d6. So exactly what we told it. We told it here 1d6 plus attack damage. Yes, we did this. Now on the results we see we rolled 1d6 plus 1d8. Okay, the 1d6 got a 1, the 1d8 got a 3, the total is a 4. Okay, fantastic. Now very important, never confuse at and hash. Let's continue. Another very useful, I'm going to remove this one and go here. Let's go back to our property role. Another very useful role expression which I programmed because I saw we didn't have anything similar in Foundry, and it's very useful. Now imagine that in many role-playing games we have things like this. Imagine that we have a table. Yeah, settings inline. How can I change? What if I go to the internet and I look for a big font? Can I have a big font, please? Can someone give me a big font? What if I copy like this? Okay, what if I have a table like many role-playing games have? If this attribute is 1, the modifier is going to be +3. If it's 5, it's going to be +2. Or the other way around, let me do it easier. It's going to be +1. Even D&D does this. But the current one has an easy formula. The old ones, no. If it's 7, it's going to be the modifier +2. If it's, I can't see my keyboard. If it's 10, it's going to be a +3. Yeah. Sorry, I'll remove this. Table. Now imagine a regular table like this. Now, how do you translate this? Like everyone is like, oof, I should program this with code. I should make a macro, or I should go to Excel, Microsoft Excel, and try to get my trending line with an equation to try to, no. I programmed the following expression to deal with this, and this expression is as follows. Percentage is two keys. The expression that you need to evaluate, comma, what happens with the if the expression, what returns if the expression is 0? So this value 1. What happens if the expression is an indeterminate value, and etc. Value n, no. So I'm gonna say compare n, value n. So you must be very confusing. What is that? This is easier than what it looks like. Okay. Okay, this is a bug that someone told me the other day. When I expand this should expand. I'll try to solve it next day. Yes, now this table. Oof. How can I do this with this? Okay. No. Expression. So I want this expression, I want this table to work with my, not attack damage, body. Sorry. Confused today. With my body expression. So let me see that if body is 1, I want it to return 0. If body is 5, I want to return 1. If body is 7, I want to return 2. Let me change this to make it easier. If 10 and if it's 15, it will return 3. Okay? Now, how can I do this? So the expression that I want to evaluate is body, and body is a property that is only inside the character. So we have to use at, okay? And the key of it, body, comma. If it's 0, it will return 0. What did we say? If it's 1, it will return 0. Always try to include the 0 option. This is useful just in case you have negative attributes and things like that. I always include it just in case. Now 5, 1. So if body is 5, it will return 1. If body is 10, it will return 2. And if body is 15, it will return 3. Now let's use this expression here. Let me clear the chat and let's roll body. Wait. What happened here? Oh, there's a mistake here. I forgot about this. Of course, my friends. Yeah, so now it should return 2. Yeah, so be careful with the expressions, with the keys, with parentheses. Yeah. Okay, so what happened? As body is 12, 12 is over 10, so it will return 2. But 12 is under 15, so it won't return 3. So it will return 2. So table is here between these two values. Yeah. So this is the same than writing the following. Then writing from 0 to 4 is plus 0. Oh my god, I can't see I need a new microphone or something. Okay. So this is the same as to write from 5 to 9 is plus 1. This is the same as to write from 10 to 14 is plus 2. And this is the same as to write 15 plus will always be plus 3. Okay, so this is what we got. We can combine it with whatever. For example, 1d6 plus that. We roll body, we roll the 1d6 and add it to 2 and it's 4. Booyah! This is one of the most used expressions in any role-playing game, honestly. Of all the systems I've created, is one of the most useful. Okay, now that is clear. let's go to the next one. Now, this is normally used for comparison of numerical, yeah, because whatever is before the two dots must be, the vCompare value must be numerical. Okay, so you can put here a text like hi and the value to return 0. No, you can put after the double dots a word like hi, but before it, it always has to be a number. What to do if you need to do something similar but compare a string? You use if. And many people has asked me to change the if role expression from if to equal because it's not the same. And it makes sense, but probably something I'll do in the future, because if is not your usual if from Microsoft Excel or from JavaScript or whatever. What does if do? So if takes an expression, compares it to a value, and if it's true, returns if a value if true, return if true, and if it's false, it returns a value if false. Yeah, let me remove this one here, and let me repeat this one here. Do this. Yes, this is better. Put this one up here, down here. Okay. Now, when is this useful to compare strings? When can I do this? Where can I do this? Aha! Let's go to the role, to the CItem role. That way we change from one to another and it can be fine. So the role, this property in the group was attack damage role, I think. Yes, this was. You can see here, it was 1d6 plus hash. Now, let's say that, okay, we have two options, melee and ranged. I want for melee attacks to add body. I want for ranged attacks to add mind. How would I do this? So we could do the following. Attack type, this one, how's it called? Attack type this way. So we can do the following. So if hash, because attack type is a property in the CItem. Attack type is from this row, this CItem. Has nothing to do with the actor, okay? If attack type is melee, we return body. Okay? If it's not, we return mind. Now, why these ones have a at instead of a hash? Because again, guys, body is exclusive property of the character, of the actor, yeah? But attack type is of the CItem, of this attack. It could be a sword or could be whatever, yeah, of the sword. Let's see if you understand it better, of a sword or whatever object you have here. Yeah, so we're checking if this attack type here is equal to melee, we use body. If not, we use mind. And we're gonna add, let's keep using things. The attack damage property, which the key was attack damage. Plus, again, you know, attack damage is here, so E is a property of the CItem, so it has to go with a hash. Yeah, so this is our expression. This is our expression, and we have to include it here in this label, the attack damage row. Let's go for it. Let me clear the chat so you can see it perfectly. It rolled a 6 on a d8. Why? Oh yeah, fine. Because we have because the damage is 1d8, yeah? But what did it take? Let's go to details. It used 12. Why? Because it's melee. And we told it that if it's melee, use body and sums it up and add it to this d8. So we rolled 12 plus a d8. Here it is, yeah? Now, what if we change it to ranged? Now it should do the same, but instead of adding 12, it would add mind, because it is not a melee property and it goes here. Will it work? We'll see. Here, sorry, here, wrong. So it's 3 plus 8. You can see it here. Yeah, fantastic. So you can use if for many things. Now, some of you would be thinking, oh, fantastic. Now I can nest ifs inside ifs. No. There is a main problem here, guys, and I'm very sorry about this because I'm not an expert on regex or parsing expressions. So if someone is more knowledgeable than me, can help me change this. But I can't use, let me use this example. Let me remove this. So B A X key property. So this is a summary of what if does. So I can do the following. I can take this if and put it in the true side. Why? As I said, my regex knowledge is not as good, and the program, let's say it finds if, it says, oh fine, let's then work as we should with if. Let's look for the first open bracket, and let's look for then when it closes and goes around, and it finds this one, and it thinks that the expression just occupies this bit, and it breaks. Yeah, I hope someone can help me, because again it will require me a lot of time, and I don't know regex and I hate it. Yeah, so we can't do this right now. There's an option to overcome this in a future role expression that I'll explain you in some minutes. My god, 30 minutes. Yeah, this is going to be the longest one. Now, my friends, let me do the following for the next example. Now, imagine that you're trying to build Savage Worlds or something that, some system that requires reading from a key. How can I explain this now? My damage is here, and I want to write it this way. And I want to write it like, hey, it's body. The attack damage is only body. The attack damage is a bonus of the body. Yeah? So now I have to tell the role formula that the damage is something like, for example, 1d6 plus this attribute. So you would think, okay, can't I do at plus body? Let me write it here so you can see it better if you have a little screen. Can't I write the role expression like this? So we go for this body thing here written. And I would say, okay, but what if in attack damage now I write mind? This thing here wouldn't change. So I want to dynamically reference an attribute. Okay? How can I do that? Because now if I do the following, you could say, okay, so we do hash because attack damage is a hash property. Yeah, is a C item property. Let me see the key here. I'm sorry. Yeah, so what if I do this? This would return an error, or simply the text 1d6 plus mind, but it won't evaluate the mind keyword. Okay, so how can we do that? With the expression underscore expression underscore, oh sorry, underscore, with this one. Okay, so the expression here must be the key, no, the attribute key, property key, sorry, property key. Okay, so no, sorry, let me use it this way, property key, so it's not confusing for you. Property key. Now if I add here underscore plus underscore, this inside will return, of course, mind, but these two underscores at each side will look for a property with that key inside this and will return the value. So in our case, we return 8. Yeah. So in our case, our roll should be 1d6 plus 8. Let me put it in the damage roll and see what happens. Let me clear the chat. So there's a d6, and it's 1d6 plus 8, as we know, which is 14. Fantastic. Again, it is very useful when you have, for example, a list of options, and those options are key values, yeah, of properties. So you can dynamically access another key from a list and boom, 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 and do it. Again, here, this works because this is the key. If I write mind, it won't work because mind with capital letter M is not the key. The key is mind. How could you overcome this? So, ideas. In Sandbox, you can do so many things. You could create a hidden property with an if expression. I'll show you later how to use all these in C items. With an if expressions, and tells you if that value is mind, just return mind with a low caps. But as this is a little bit confusing right now for you, but you get my meaning, I'll make a last tutorial with tips and tricks, advanced tips and tricks, but that one is just necessary if you want to learn some tricks from me instead of from yourself, from tinkering with Sandbox. Okay, what if I want to do the same, but instead a character property key, a C item? Hey, write down something. What happened? Okay, yeah, a C item property key. It's very similar, but instead of that, we need to use this and this. Yeah, and that's it. Minus, 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 minus at each side. I'm not going to use an example of this, but yes, please remember this must only be used on the C item because this is referring to a C item. Okay? All right. Next expression. Now, imagine that wait a second. Wait a second. How can I explain you this? Okay. Guys, sorry for this, but to explain you the next role expression, I need to create a new property. It's going to be called background. And it's going to be a simple text called backg as key tag backg. No. It's going to be hit die. Yeah, this is better. This is better. Hit die and hit die. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Now, let me add hit die to the attributes panel. Here it is. Again, we've changed the template, so we need to rebuild. What is that? Oh, nothing important. Okay, so we go back to default. We go back to template PC. There it is, hit die. Okay, hit die is here. Now, let me remove dwarf here. Now, Can I use role expressions only in role fields? No. You can use them anywhere it's accepted. For example, my friends, in CI10 mods. So every value field and if field, yeah, these two allows you to introduce role expressions. Let me remove these two. Yeah, okay. I'll remove all of them and introduce a new mod, which is called set hit die. Now, what was hit die called? Because I can remember the key hit die. Okay. Now imagine that the dwarf C item has an attribute, a set mod that sets hit die to 1d6. Yeah. So let's add dwarf. What happened? It works perfectly. Dwarf just set hit die to a 1d6, but it just rolled the hit die. It rolled it. And I don't want to be rolled. I want it to be a string, a text. Let me remove dwarf, remove this. So how can I do it? Well, you can do that by adding to every role expression. Because I need to edit. Yeah, okay. To every role expression, the vertical bar, this one. Okay. So if instead of 1d6, I use vertical bar 1d6, things are going to change. Okay. Let me see. I'm telling the truth. There it is, you see? It's 1d6 instead of a rolled expression. So every time you need to avoid rolling dice when using role expressions, so you need to use the vertical bar. Yeah, and this tutorial is getting too long. We've only checked at half of the role expressions, but I think with these ones, you have more than enough to start and tinker, and we'll have a second tutorial of role expressions. Sorry, it wasn't my intention, but this is too long and I have to go back to work because this was my lunchtime. Guys, again, if you like what I'm doing, I'm not asking for donations or anything like that. My main goal in this YouTube, Twitch streamer life is to promote TTRPGs in the Spanish community. But even if you don't speak Spanish or not part of that community, you can help me if you want to thank me for this, for Sandbox, just by subscribing to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ROLNL. Yeah, it's free for you if you have Amazon Prime. Also, I'm thinking about promoting a little bit this Sandbox so everyone can know about it. So I'm thinking about GMing a game, okay, streaming a one-shot. But I need native English speakers, or at least someone that speaks better English than me, please, so I can GM, okay, so I can prepare this game one shot. If you guys want to play with me, 3 or 4 of you, we'll have a game with the system designed in Sandbox, so we can at the same time play, stream it, and show what you can do with Sandbox. So if anyone wants to join me, please leave it in the comments or talk to me on Discord. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.